ahead and use these. What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Gesundheit.
Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Well, I'll tell you, nobody handles garbage better than we do.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. What are you smiling about?
Dude, I almost had you. Left cheek! Left cheek! Left cheek!
Hey guys, welcome to my next review. This is the Fanstoys FT-32A Gehry. Now this is Fanstoys' first member of the Constructicons as part of their Devastator. So this is Scrapper, the leader of the Constructicons. And let's take a look at his box first. And knock Wolverine over at the same time. Let's get him out of the way a little bit. So here is the front artwork of the box. And Gehry, which is a strange name, right? So the funny thing is with all these Constructicons, they're all named after architects, famous architects. So here's the artwork on the bottom of his alt mode. Same things on the top, the alt mode. And then the back, more product images, and then a bio. This box is kind of big and bulky, so let's just get it out of the way. Then let's take a look at Gehry, or Scrapper. So let's get a close-up look at him. Take a look at that head sculpt. Really nice looking head sculpt. The red eyes. Here's the rest of his body. Here's the back side. And he's got a backpack on him. All right, so let's go over some articulation. So his head is on a ball and hinge. I think there's a ball back there. For sure there's a hinge. So you can do a full 360. Can go back that far. Tilt forward about like that. Shoulders, get up to 90 degrees. Rotate 360. He does have a bicep swivel. Is that a double? No, that's a single jointed elbow. You can go up to there. Wrist swivel. He does have every finger is on its own individual articulation. Thumb is the base is at a ball joint with a single hinge. The fingers are at the hinge at the base, and then one additional hinge for each finger. Ab crunch. He has no ab crunch. Waist swivel, not really a waist swivel either. I mean, swivel. There's a swivel. I mean, this goes all this back here. You can raise the flap up. The leg can go all the way up to here, and it can only go back that far. The knee, single jointed knee, so you can get a little over 90 degrees, but what's nice is you can kind of see the detail of like shocks. Like, it doesn't break the sculpt. It's got a nice stuff on the inside. Ankle, toes. The toes can go down like that, go up that far, and then there is a bit of a rocker. Not a whole lot of a rocker. But the nice thing is you can still do that A pose. Like, if you look at the back of him, he's kind of got a little bit of angle. So that way you can at least do the, you know, the A pose style. A-frame, whatever it's called. But so let's check out his accessories. So he comes with his blaster, and the handle doesn't go anywhere. So, and just like your normal Masterpiece weapons, there is a tab on the weapon, and it can plug into the port on his hand, so he can blast. And another accessory comes with his trumpet, and if you've watched the '86 movie, you know what this is a reference to, Starscream's coronation, and it has a tab on it, and this is die-cast. I don't know if you can hear that. Nice and sturdy die-cast, yeah. And that same thing, tabs in it, maybe tabs in his hand. There we go. Now it just popped out. It's not gonna, but he can not hold his trumpet. Interesting. Just doesn't want to tab in. There we go. But yeah, it can fall out of his hand. And then the last thing he comes with is this combiner piece, and it can store in his back, but I mean, it just gives him an even bigger backpack. I'm not even going to worry about it, but it can store on his back. It clips up in there, and then it kind of stores like this. I'm not going to mess with it. But yeah, so that is Gehry for robot mode. So we will start by transforming into alt mode. Oh, you know what? Before we transform to alt mode, let's do a little comparison. So I have Magic Square's Brawl. So that's how Scrapper looks next to him. A little bit bigger. And let's go with something else I just pulled off my shelf. Fanstoys or Robot Paradise. It's Fanstoys. Sound Blaster. Alright, so now let's get to transformation. Alright, so let's get him into alt mode. Let's get his weapon off. And the first thing you want to do is straighten his arms out, open up this panel under his arm. Make sure his fingers and thumbs are collapsed in all the way. And then you want to rotate. Close that back up. Same thing with the other hand. Open up that panel. His fingers squared up nice. Like that. And then next we are going to untab his head from the back and then his chest panel can come down, his head tucks back in, and then you close that panel back up. And now next we want to do the shovel. So lift that forward like that, untab, get that out of the way, and it should slide out. Get that out, that panel that's holding those in, and then you can slide the shovel arms out. And bring it down like so, till it's like in these recesses. So now we can work on the shovel. Let's tilt the camera down a little bit. There we go. Now we want to work on the shovel. It should unhinge, it's like on a double hinge. And then also there's a hinge back here. You want to shift down, and then these sliders go back, and it's supposed to tab in at the back of the shovel. There, just like that. All right, so next you want to open up these panels and then pull these panels up. And then this should tab in like that. Oh, there, I'll have to tab it back in. And then this flips up. This one flips up. And it should look like this. All right, so next we want to get the canopy open. So let's get the arms out of the way. Bring the canopy down. Pull the wheels out. Those out of the way. And then the next part, let's see, next we want to rotate the arms of the bicep. And then you need to unlock them. And then once you do that, they can rotate down. And then you need to rotate them again. All right, let's see if I can do the other arm on camera. It's a bit tricky, so you want to do 180, flip that tab, and then now it goes down, and what you want to do is pull and then get that other rotation. It's there. Yeah. So then you want it to look like that. And then is what you should be able to do now is pull it out of the shoulder socket. Okay, so next we're going to do the wheels. So we want to rotate this forward like so. And then there's a tab and slot there. And then there's another tab and slot here. So it should look like that. And then we want to do the other side as well. So rotate that in, tab it, and then make sure it's tab on the side. And then next we will do the arms. So you want to rotate those down. going to go in this cavity. Hold on. Keep it tapped. There, should go in like that. And you're going to do the same thing for the other side. So you want to find where that elbow bend is. There, now you got both of those in. You want to get that up, and then this piece goes down like that. The canopy up. And then now we can work on the legs. So the legs kind of are on their own little slider. You need to slide in. Like that. It should look like that. And then the next thing, you want to pop this panel up, and then that opens the leg. Then we want to flip this panel out, and then see what we do now. You want this wheel to come up. It's on like a, it's on its own, like a hinge. And then we need it. Hold on. All right, let's see if I can get a better shot of it. So you want to rotate the wheel up, and if you can see, there's two gaps, and they tab in like that. Now we want, should I let that shut? Don't want it to shut yet. So now we need to get the heel, tilt that back, and bring the foot back, rotate, and then do that. And then we can fold the heel in, and then there's a spot where it recesses. And now next we want to rotate the leg, but we want to rotate it here. Rotate that around like that. Give yourself some room, move the other leg out of the way, and then we'll close it up. Like so. Wait. Oh. No, that's, at least that wasn't a catastrophe. It's just a hinge. You need to get that rear panel to where it's tabbed in. So yeah, you should have it looking something like that. So let's do the other leg. So first we want to pop open this panel. then flip that open. So now we are rotating the wheel. Maybe. There we go. So like the last one, it'll tab in. Oh yeah, we need to flip this up. And then we'll do the foot. All right, let's try this foot again. So bring the heel back, bring the foot back, rotate it, tilt the heel down. And make sure when you close the leg up, bringing that panel up, and you close that panel. And then bring the bumper up. Now we want to tab the rear end together. There we go. Good Lord. So I got that heel. I was having issues on the opposite side. I don't know why. But then, yeah, the arm tabs in on the side like that. It's funny. Was almost done with this, and then this last bit slowed me up. But yeah, then that's it for alt mode. And a nice looking alt mode, rolls nice. It has rubber wheels, really nice rubber wheels. So yeah, let's kind of get a close-up look at it. Here's this side. Here's the rear of it. And yeah, you can see those wheels spin real good. But a cool looking front end loader. Well, I just untabbed that. But yeah, so let's do a little comparison. Here he is next to Blue Streak. And actually, of all the third-party Masterpiece stuff that we've been doing, that's the closer in scale when it comes to alt mode. So yeah, not bad. All right, so let's go to combined mode. Oh, one other thing. So the scoop does articulate. It can go up there, and then there's hinges here for it to go. Also, there is storage for his blaster. It's just a tab and a hole. Kind of looks like a little exhaust port. And this chunk of thing can also store, but I'm not messing with it. It stores up here. I don't even know if I can get it to go in. Kind of tabs right there. And then this goes over. Kind of like that. Hey, at least they allowed it to store, I guess. The horn does not store in alt mode, which is a shame. Alright, so now we will move on to combined mode. Alright, so let's get into combined mode. So we want to untab these, like the arm parts first. And those are snug. Untab those, and now we can work on untabbing and opening the legs. So split the legs back. Open that. I'm gonna open the leg around, because what we want to do is untab the wheel and it's going to rotate around how we want to open this up. So this panel tabs on the outside like that. So now I rotated the wheel, and it's, did I rotate it enough? Because we want it to go inside the leg like that. So we will leave that like that, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Open up this panel. And your legs can open up the rest of the way. Spin it around. You want to take this panel, flip it like this, flip the bumper up, tab it in, and then do the same thing with the wheel. Untab it, rotate it, and spin it, and it'll kind of recess in this hole right here. So now the next thing we want to do is we need to move the canopy down. So the canopy wants to lay flat like that, and then there's a panel on the underside we need to get to, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to reach. I don't know if I can get my finger in there. There we go. So we want to lift that panel up like that. And then now we untab the scoop, bring this up, and now we can get the arms out. So we kind of want to go back to hit how his arms was in robot mode. Bring him up. Bring all that up to where it's tabbed in, and then don't forget to lock it. And then rotate it 180. So we'll do the same thing with opposite side. Get that pulled out. Like so. End it at the elbow. Pop all that back in. Rotate 180 and push that locking tab. So now we want to there's a bit in here we need to pull up. Should just free, but there we go. So we want to pull that bit up, and then the scoop kind of moves forward like that. This whole mechanism goes forward. Let's see. Next make sure that's flush. There, it tabs in just like that. Let's get these arms out of the way. So now we want to untab these wheels and bring them around and put them back into the cab where they were in robot mode. Bring that around. It should tab in there like that. Same thing with this side. Rotate them around, and they should fit flush like that. And then next we want to bring this up. And the canopy should tab in like that. Now we'll bring this piece, kind of is on its own little accordion, and it should tab in. Hold on. Yeah, tab in like that. All right, so now we will move on to the scoop. So I want to untab these bits and then fold these in a little bit, because is what happens is the arms are going to plug into them. So the arms have these locking bits. We gotta untab and bring those in, and then we can bring the scoop up into these parts, and then that should tab back. So, my own camera. This is probably one of the more complicated parts of it, is you want to have that scoop in the right position. Yeah, that one actually tapped in a lot nicer than the other side. And then once you have those lined up, you should be able to close the scoop back up. I think I got it right. So now we want to go back to the legs, rotate those around, open that up, and then the wheel should be collapsing on the inside. And then squeeze that together. So now the last thing is, this is where we're going to use the combined bit. It's probably one of the more complicated modes, but so what you want to do is make sure your leg looks, or whatever, this looks like that. So when you slide this in, so make sure this looks like this. So this panel is kind of flush. This is like, this panel's out like that, and you want to slide it in, and there's a little like T slot right here, and then you have a little T tab, and that tabs in like that, and then clips in like that. So in the next part, you want to get these pins. If you can look right here, there's holes. So what you'll have to do is kind of unhinge these hinges right here, so that way you can fit this bit in these holes. Like that. And then this part, this scoop looking piece, will go in. There's slots right here, and then it'll go in these T panels, and should just snug in like that. And then the last bit you want to do is flip these panels down. Yeah, snug. And then flip this panel up. And that should be everything for combined mode. Tilt this back up a little bit. Gotta get a wider shot of it. So yeah, there's this lake mode. Might have to do a little bit of adjusting there. Now it's flush. So yeah, this is my plan with Fanstoys. Is I think they have the better looking tune accurate combined mode of all the third-party Devastators coming out there. So let's get a good look. Really clean looking animation accurate is what I'm looking for. So you can see he's going to have some articulation. I think it tilts. Yeah. So then it's got a little bit of an ankle rocker. Of all three modes, I mean, this is what I want it for. I don't know if the gun can store in it. The horn for sure can't store in it. But let's see. Let's kind of get an idea how tall he is, or how tall Devastator is going to be. So this is just like from knee down, and here's the leg next to Sound Blaster. So I mean, it's going to be a tall combined mode, because this guy is every bit of 12 inches. So I forget, I know Fanstoys has said what the size is going to be. I think they have, maybe. But it's going to be a big boy. And I have a scavenger in the mail, so I'll be interested to mess with him and do a review on him. Oh, one other thing I forgot to show off. Like most Fanstoys, comes with a plastic card. And here's the instructions. So yeah, that's it for Fanstoys Scrapper Gehry. So let's do a final thoughts. All right, so let's move on to my final thoughts of the Fanstoys 32A Gehry, aka Masterpiece Scrapper. Solid figure. Like I said earlier, really tune accurate, especially in combined mode, and that's what I'm going for on combined mode for Devastator. Between Fanstoys and X Transbots, I think Fanstoys is the most accurate looking, tune accurate looking when it comes to combined mode. So combined mode is great. Robot mode, it's a decent robot mode. It's not one of the best things that I've handled from Fanstoys. It looks the part, but it's got limited in articulation, and that backpack is just huge. And I know why. I mean, the articulation was killed on this guy, because you wouldn't get this ankle tilt that it has if it wasn't, they had to do some liberties to get it to be a combiner. Alt mode's fine. It's nothing super special. It does the job. But like I said, combined mode is where I'm at. So if you're in for a tune accurate Devastator, I would say Fanstoys is your way to go. It's probably going to take them at least 2 years to complete this team, because I think there might be one more due this year, maybe 2. But so yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Check me out. Like, subscribe. Check me out on the other social medias, on Instagram, TikTok, X, and I'm on Facebook page, all at Talib1980_collects. If you could, just give me a follow on those as well. But that's all I have for this one. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.